Hi, my name is Naomi Nordwall, and this is my Literacy Autobiography for Lee 156. So, I want to start my literacy timeline by talking about my elementary years. During that time, my parents would always make a point every night before bed to read a book to my siblings and I. We read Little House on the Prairie, and Goodman's article expressed that this literacy events experience in the home is a road that has a huge developmental impact on children's literacy. So I felt like that was a big part of my literacy as a child. At the end, my parents would ask us questions about the text and just to get us to think about it a little bit more and kind of see our comprehension level. And so I feel like that was the beginning of my literacy as far as thinking, understanding, and unraveling text. My family also read the Bible together, and we did a lot of church Bible studies and youth group stuff. So the Bible is really challenging to understand and comprehend, and there's a lot of complex words and ideas. So I feel like this really had a big impact on my literacy because it really challenged me to think outside of the box and really focus on understanding the meaning behind words. And Rose's article talked about reading bringing a sense of community for the people who were reading. And I felt like reading the Bible had a big impact on that because we did that as a family and as a church and a group, and those things helped create a community for me that I could feel comfortable in reading and developing understanding with. Skipping up to my middle school years, I wasn't a fan of reading. I didn't like the idea of literacy because I felt challenged by it. I wasn't that great of a reader. I was a really slow reader, so I just didn't really do it, and not for fun anyways. And I picked up a book series called The Black Stallion, and I read one of the books and I really liked it, and I was really into horses at the time, and so it was something I was interested in. So I ended up reading the whole series, which is like 12 books, which was a lot for me at the time, and so that really helped develop my fluency in reading. I became quicker at reading and was able to understand it and better, so that was a big part of my literacy journey. And the Rose article talks about reading being able to give you a feeling of living beyond the boundaries that your life has set for you, and I felt like that was true for this book because I was able to put myself in a different place and experience things that I wanted to experience in real life but couldn't. During the middle school part of my life, I also wrote a lot of poems, just expressing my thoughts and my feelings and my ideas about stuff that I couldn't verbally say, but I was able to write out. And the James Gee article talks about using reading and writing to share perspectives, and that's really what I was doing through this. I wanted people to understand my thoughts and my ideas, and I did it through writing, and that developed my literacy with writing. The Faceta Van article says that literacy can grow through landscapes that pass beyond the classroom, and I felt like that was true for my poems because I didn't do that for school. I did that on my own time outside the classroom, usually sitting outside on the bench and just letting my thoughts come out onto a piece of paper. So that's when I really started to realize that literacy was more than writing for school. It was a way to express myself, a way for people to teach and to learn and to understand ideas and theories. So that was a large jump for me as far as my understanding of literacy. In high school, I read The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Those books carry a lot of symbolism, a lot of depth, and this really developed my understanding of text with literacy because I had to challenge myself to think outside the box and make connections from the symbolism to real world ideas. And the Lexi article talks about using reading as a means of questioning and sensing and discovering, and I felt like that's what I was doing in that time of my life, and that's what I was starting to understand what reading could be. Finally, when I got to college, I started using technology a lot for my classes, and I feel like my literacy for technology really grew then, because I was learning content from class, and I was also learning how to be technologically literate. So that was like two different things coming together. And the Jacobs article talks about using technology as an educational tool and as a learning tool. So I really felt like that's where those came together and really expanded my idea of what technology could be in education. So that's my brief autobiography for my road to literacy, and obviously it's a never-ending road, and I'm still learning a lot about where I am as far as how my development of literacy has come along, and learning how to teach students how to find their way in literacy. So thank you for your time.